Hi, I'm Robert. Welcome back to another edition of the High Desert Ranch channel. Today we are at our friend's property, dear friend's property. I'm here to give you a little milking demonstration, a little step-by-step how-to, some tips and techniques to get the most out of your dairy cow. And Rachel, she's going to be the one doing it because A, she's not only the expert, but she has a great relationship with her cow, and you'll see the reasons why that is so important. So come along and join us here on Milking with Rachel.
Wash the whole udder. We don't want anything falling in the milk. And as you can see, it's dirty. And I go for the teats because those are dirty too. And I try and use a clean corner on each teat. Looks like the calf's been on a little bit, so the fronts are a little bit thin. Jessie, it's alright, girl. Okay. Then we take this teat dip. And that'll sanitize them. Is that the right word?
Like sterilize.
Sterilize.
What percentage of?
I think it's 1% iodine. We let that sit for a minute. While that's happening, I put gloves on because by the time we're milking, my hands are not clean. And then we take a dry cloth and we dry off the teats because it's much harder to milk if they're wet. I don't really want the iodine in the milk. Alright. And then just got iodine on it, but we do the first 3 squirts or so. And we're looking for any chunks or strings, anything weird. And the first milk has the most bacteria in it, so you don't want that. And then we milk, and she's going to maybe behave. At first it's really thin and blue skim milk where she's been engorged. But as we milk, it'll change into a richer, creamier milk. I try and rotate around the teats, except this back one. I can get the other 3 done in the time it takes for this one back one. The calf has been favoring this front quarter. I don't mind her shuffling so much. We'll see if she decides to get done. That's what I don't like. When I get some, I turn and dump so that if we do get a bucket kicked over, we're not losing a lot of it. That's a good idea. So if there's one thing cows don't like, it's dogs. In the mornings we usually get less because the calf can get into the front 2 quarters. So the last 2 mornings we've only gotten 3 quarts. But in a good session we'll get 6 to 8 quarts if the calf hasn't touched her in a while. But a good average is like 5 to 6.
When would you recommend people start being able to drink the milk without noticing a strong taste difference as far as salt?
As like the colostrum?
Yeah.
By day 3 or 4, some people. It depends on your cow too. I think Betty was still a bit salty, so maybe 5 or 6. I don't know, Tyler, do you remember how long her milk was salty?
I think it was about a week.
Yeah, it can be up to 10 days or so, and sometimes people freak out because salty can also be a sign of mastitis, but they just have kind of congested udders at first. And like at first the milkings were gross, like they would barely filter. There were so many strings and globs and even blood flecks and just stuff. And so like we didn't drink that, but we put it in the freezer in case an animal needs it at some point, so it can save their life. Yeah.
Okay, so there's uses for that first several days of the milk.
About 6 milkings, I think it was. Like it was great for yogurt, for cooking.
And then after that, you'd recommend that it's pretty well.
Yeah, as long as you've
drink.
got it, if it's cleared up, your filters are looking good, your strip cup's looking good, tastes good.
Especially if you're a first timer, right?
Yeah.
You'll ruin your taste for. So, an additional question is quick reflexes.
So here's Tyler behind him.
Yeah.
Probably. You're all right, girl.
So a couple more basic questions is, how can you tell when the cow is done milking or a point just it's not worth milking anymore?
Well, we're not there yet. This teat is starting to, like, you get less of a, you can see that stream is less, and the teats kind of fill up slower, so you know you're getting down. But when you're really down, you're just getting just little spurts.
So.
And in the back, she really softens up. Her teeth will deflate in the front, but she doesn't get that much softer in the front. It's not if she's holding back for the calf, or if that's just the way her udder is. But the back gets nice and soft for me. The front stays firmer.
So that's an interesting concept. Is most people just think you go to milk and it just flows, but is there something to the milk just dropping? Like a cow can actually withhold?
Yeah.
Depending on your relationship?
And sometimes when you're calf shearing like we are, they will hold back. They'll especially hold back cream. They somehow can control it. And like if someone that she doesn't approve of milks, she just won't let down. And sometimes at the beginning of the milking, she won't let down. It's so much harder. It makes your hands really tired. Because it takes forever to make progress. Like I'm filling up this bucket fairly quickly tonight to where I dump it because she's let down, and so the milk comes out a lot easier. You get your big streams with a lot of volume in each squeeze. But near the end, or if she hasn't let down, it seems to take forever. She's just getting nothing with each squeeze. You learn to sense their movement. And I don't, like, when she's just shuffling, it's fine. But occasionally, she starts to get really steppy and kicky, and it's those high steps that you gotta watch for. Okay. Because those are what knock your bucket.
I see. So if there's one animal on your homestead or farm to make a pet, it's your milk cow, huh?
You want to be nice to your milk cow. She needs to like you. Because milk letdown is caused by a hormone, oxytocin, known as the love hormone. And so if your cow doesn't like you or want to give you her milk, she's not going to let down easily. Or if she's stressed, then see now something's bugging her. Could just be like the flies bug her too.
So we're starting to hear some thunder. It's storms on both sides, so the cow's getting a little antsy. But Rachel, what's something you do with the calf while you're milking?
Well, Betty, the calf's only, 3 weeks old?
About 3 weeks old.
Today. And Betty is a very good mother and very protective of her calf. And so, one thing cows will do is they'll hide their calves. So if she's hidden her calf and she just comes to milk alone, we usually just leave it. Betty. But if we can keep the calf close over there, we have her haltered. It's good for the calf too to get used to the routine and to be haltered. She's gotten used to it now. And it helps Betty stay calm because she knows where her calf is and she's not looking around nervous, wondering, or if we've got other people around. If people start heading towards where she's got her calf, then she really gets stressed. So it's best, especially if we have other people, to have the calf right where she can see her and where the calf can't wander off.
So is there a reason why you chose a Jersey, or you'd recommend a Jersey milk cow?
I wanted a Jersey because they have a lot of cream content. They're a good producer, but they're known for their cream lines. So if you want products like butter easily, a Jersey is a great choice. They also have a really good feed conversion. Like Holsteins are what are at the big commercial dairies a lot of time, and they can make like 8-10 gallons of milk a day. But they're gonna eat like her.
And you've mentioned several times they're a good mother.
Yeah, I mean, she's super good mom. I haven't had any issues with her taking care of that calf. And if anything, she's too protective. Sometimes when she gets like this, we can throw a little more feed at her. But if she's really stressed, she'll just eat it as fast as she can. We're trying to train her to have a little to get her into the stanchion and then to wait until the end. Whereas when she's calm, that works great. She'll just stand. Sometimes if it's just me, she's an angel, she'll just stand here. It's when you get something bugging her. You can see I kind of keep my arm on this leg and give her that pressure back. She still lets me know she's annoyed with her tail. Usually I'm close enough that it gets the back of my head or the top of my hat, but occasionally she gets me. But she's a pretty clean cow. I've seen a lot of pictures, heard a lot of stories of really nasty cows who just love to lay in their own filth.
Ugh.
But Betty's really clean. She rarely has much on her. Yeah,
You have good sanitary conditions here too, so.
yeah, and she's got plenty of pasture, plenty of space to not have to lay in her own messes.
Yeah.
Occasionally she does pee in the stanchion. I'm trying to get better at keeping an extra bucket to catch it. If it gets slippery, we need to get a stall mat on here.
So any final words or suggestions? How quickly can you take the calf?
Like wean it?
Yeah, or just wean, take it away.
Well, there's a whole debate. Well, honestly, it's owner's preference whether you want a calf share or not. Because if you take the calf shortly after birth, you can easily bottle feed it mom's milk. And then if you're raising a heifer for your own milk cow, they're really friendly. And you don't have the cow holding back for the calf. So you just don't have the calf issue. She's not stressed about her calf. She's not trying to save milk for her calf. It's just she's your milk cow and you are who she feeds. And she develops that bond with you instead of with the calf. So some people take the calf immediately. Calf's born, they dry her off, milk out colostrum immediately, and bottle feed it. We've chosen to leave the calf on because we don't live out here yet, and as the calf gets bigger, it allows to only milk once a day if we choose. So it allows more flexibility. If you need to skip a milking, the calf can take care of it for you.
Nice.
For this calf, we'll plan to wean her sometime between 4 and 6 months, probably closer to the 6 because it's better for her. And if you start the calf on mom and you decide you don't want to calf share anymore, it can be really, really hard to train a calf to take a bottle. So if you do that, you some people can train them to drink milk out of a bucket.
Alright, so we're just showing the difference between
The cream, it comes at the end, and the milk is so white compared to this rich cream.
and they feed a little bit of grains at the beginning, and then they reward her at the end of her feeding or her milking. So kind of a nice thing to practice. So behave and give milk, and you'll get really good tasting feed. So much so that the sheep, you can see her, they're jealous of this feed. It's a really good dairy feed ration. So good old Clarabelle. She's the bred with a Dexter bull, so she's a Belfair. So between the Jersey and the Dexter, it makes her a really good cross. So both very beautiful and also very gentle.
Okay, we can see she's done because she's barely spurting. Her teats are really flat when we start. They're full and engorged. And you can always come and get a little bit more, but like you just get tiny bits. And you can see her udder. It's really soft back here now. Whereas it was full up here. It just doesn't collapse the same. That might just be her. But and then we have the super creamy right at the end, straight cream milk.
Good fresh cream and butter.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how we know she's done.
Awesome.
She's enjoying the rest of her feed.
Thank you, Rachel.
Just let that drain there a minute. Get it all out. I come and tell her she did a good job. Huh. It makes sense. Not a baddie girl.
Just in time for that storm to be rolling in it.
We come see you when we say, "Whoa, what a go cow." Yes, we do. Yes. That's right. That is right.
And she's already got a name.
Yeah, this is little Clarabelle.
She's gonna
She
be
loves her scratches.
a good calf, good cow.
Are you staying touched?
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't like how all over my hands, so I have my gloves on until I'm done.
Perfect. Rachel, the cow whisperer, and just. All right, Clarabelle.
Hey, how you know?
All right, so there you have it. Hopefully you got a little something out of this today, and to see just how easy it can be to have your own milk cow. And with the prices of milk and all the other dairy products going through the roof, if you have the means and even the space, you can do it. Here out west, you need about 2 acres, 1 to 2, especially if they're irrigated. If it's not irrigated, you'll need several acres. And then obviously you'll need a hay feed in the wintertime. Depending on the size of your cow, with the Jersey cow, you'll be right around 25 to 30 pounds of hay in the wintertime as far as a winter feed. So it's definitely, depending on the price of hay in your area, it can be a very cost-effective thing. Again, like I say, with inflation and rising food costs, and you just get a much better product without all the additives and the pasteurization process and even the homogenation process. So thanks for coming along. I hope I was your ticket to help escape the ordinary and find out just what it's like to live the high life here in the high desert of the Intermountain West, only on the High Desert Ranch channel.